At last year's banquet, the 2016 Teacher of the Year title was awarded to Mrs. Jessica Solano, a third grade teacher from Highlands Grove Elementary. If that name sounds familiar, it's probably because Mrs. Solano was recently named the Florida Department of Education's Teacher of the Year and Kristen McAuliffe Ambassador for Education.
Mrs. Solano is the 5th state finalist and 3rd Teacher of the Year winner from Polk County Public Schools in the last 12 years. Mrs. Solano's passion and enthusiasm for education causes her to constantly challenge herself and her students to excel. Her engaging approach to mathematics helps her students learn critical thinking while completing real-world tasks. Mrs. Solano's integration of technology in the classroom lets her students research and apply mathematic concepts in practical ways.
It is our pleasure to introduce Florida's Teacher of the Year, Mrs. Jessica Solano.
Thank you. Good evening and congratulations to all of the Teachers of the Year and especially to our finalists. Each and every one of you are here today because you have been found to have the unique characteristics and teaching abilities that exemplify a superior teacher. You get it. You understand the impact that one teacher can have on a child. You understand that in addition to learning, sometimes your classroom serves as a sanctuary to some of those students trying to escape those harsh realities. You understand that if you don't hold your students to high expectations, perhaps no one else will. You also understand that as grueling, as challenging, and as painful as the true process of learning is, getting your students comfortable with struggle is what will empower them to be successful, independent, and aware adults, many of whom hopefully will become teachers someday themselves. I believe you get this because you've learned how to solve for why. Not just in a mathematical context, even though as teachers we're always in search for the unknown, always trying to solve today's equation. But I believe you've learned how to solve for why, W-H-Y, why we do what we do. And it starts with having the will. I bet you've asked yourself if you're willing to tutor after school, if you are willing to spend an extra hour with a colleague just to make your lessons more impactful. Are you willing to try a new technique or a new strategy to reach that student, maybe the one who's trying to shut you out? Or are you even willing to show up at a Friday night football game just to show the students on that team how much they mean to you? In addition to having the will, you also have a heart for teaching. You love seeing your students finally break through the struggle to reach that victory. And it makes you smile when you're able to share a technique with a colleague and hear how successful it was in their class. This is what gets you through the less exciting parts of the job. You see the bigger picture because your heart is in it. Not only do you have the will and the heart, but I also believe that you're obsessed with yet. When a student comes into your classroom with a list of barriers disguised as acronyms, you look through the lens of yet, and you see the true potential of that student. You're always looking for yet in yourself, always reevaluating your teaching style and thinking, what have I not mastered yet? It's because of yet that you're able to make each school year better than the last, and it's because of yet that you've been able to do what some may have even called impossible. I want to challenge you, as master solvers of why, to share this wisdom. Think of just one teacher who could really use your help solving for why. Take it a step further. Is there a student in your class that needs to learn this process of solving for why? Together, I believe, as a unified force, we can make a difference. Because whether we are selected as Polk County Teacher of the Year or not, each of you have the responsibility and the authority to challenge those around you to solve for why. So why don't we get started? Thank you.